Hello, everybody. I'm David. So, this short form practice is going to consist of a little bit of everything. It's great on days when you don't have a lot of time for a longer practice. We'll be doing some things for your spine and your shoulders. We'll also get your hips in there and some breathing exercises as well. So, for now, just find your way to a seated posture that's comfortable for you. For the next few moments, close your eyes while you settle in. Let your hands rest in your lap in some supportive way. And just take the next few moments to focus on your breath. Take a moment to lift your right hand all the way up to your face and place the tip of your index and middle finger directly between your eyebrows. As you focus on that space, breathe all the way in. Exhale all of your air. Use your thumb to block the right nostril and inhale left. Ring finger to left, exhale right. Inhale left side. Exhale right side. Inhale left. Exhale right. Keep the left side blocked. Breathe in right. Block the right, exhale left. Inhale right side. Exhale left. Inhale right side. Exhale left. And drop your hand and breathe all the way in. Exhale. Then twice more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale the remainder. And then take the next few moments to breathe normally again. And join your hands together in a prayer at your chest. Bring to mind someone you would like to dedicate today's practice to. And then send that person some good energy mentally. All right, today we'll start from the belly. So go ahead and take a moment to lay all the way down on your floor or your mat. And to create some mobility in your spine, prop yourself up on your elbows and try to put your elbows right underneath your armpits. Now, I personally like to interlace my hands out here in the front, but I know that other people like to have their forearms parallel, so you can choose whichever the two makes the best sense for you. You want your shoulders to shrug up near your ears, having said, so really press your elbows down into the floor to lift up through your chest, and as you do that, your shoulders will slide away from your ears towards your belt. Sort of squish the mat under your elbows so it feels like they were crazy glued to the floor. Pull backward with your elbows to drag your chest a slight bit further forward, and then just try to maintain your overall liftedness for a little bit. While you hold there, take a few deep breaths through your nose. Now to target your shoulders next, parallel your forearms so that your left forearm is in front of the right forearm. And sort of rock side to side and start crawling your arms further and further and further over to your sides. You want to cross your arms pretty deeply so that the muscles between your shoulder blades stretch. Turn your thumbs to face up in the air. If you want less stretch, lift your chest. And if you want more stretch, then just let your chest settle down toward the mat. Again, some deep breaths through your nose. Try to keep your head relatively neutral by looking straight down. Lift your chest a bit higher. Walk your arms out of that position. Either parallel your forearms with your elbows under your armpits or interlace your hands again. Press your elbows down, just slide your shoulders away from your ears. Pull back with the elbows and drag your chest further forward for a second round of the back bend. Deep breaths through your nose. Let your chest drop slightly. Parallel your forearms so that your right arm is in front this time. And just start walking your elbows along the floor. You can lift it up and slide it over if it helps. At some point, you can use your fingertips to sort of crawl your arms across the floor until they're really crossed. Try to level your back with the ceiling, rolling your right chest down, and then lift your chest for less stretch, or drop it down closer to your arms for more. Try to send your inhales into any space that feels tight. Lift your chest off of the arms. Now, this positioning is just a slight bit different. Plant your hands near the base of your ribs, and then reach your left arm all the way out to the side, trying to make sure that your arm remains parallel to the front of your mat. As you do that, turn your palm up to face the ceiling so that the back of your hand rests on the floor. Now, bend your right leg. Press down through your right hand to roll some weight onto the left-hand side of your body. And if you want to deepen that stretch quite a lot, actually flip your right foot over and tap your toes to the floor behind you. Look straight up in the air as you stretch the front of your chest. And breathe deeply through your nose again. All the way back down to your belly. Plant your left hand in the push-up position and slide your arm out. Now, if your arm slides down toward your hip, you'll lose a lot of the stretch. So try to keep it parallel to the front of your mat and turn your palm up to face the ceiling. Once you've done that, bend your left leg just in case you decide to use it, and softly and gently roll over onto your right-hand side. That can be pretty intense, so feel free to stay there. If it's not intense enough, though, flip your foot all the way over to the floor behind you, and with your toe tapping the earth, just gaze straight up as you hold. Then all the way back down to the floor. And press all the way back up to a four-pointed kneeling stance initially, and then roll over onto your hips. I'm going to face the camera so it's easier for you to see this. But when you're ready, just slide both legs completely straight. There's a great posture called the cow face pose next. Now, cross your left leg over top of right. I'm just going to do my left leg so it looks like we're doing the same thing. But once your leg is crossed over, then press your knees a little closer together. Pull your foot back near your side. And then, if possible, draw your other heel back near your hip. The left leg is on top and the right leg is under. If that's not possible, you can always keep your bottom leg straight. Now, initially, just sit a little taller. Pull your belly muscles in, and then very gently round your back, like the lens from a pair of sunglasses. From there, lean forward toward your legs just a little bit to stretch your outer hip and to create some mobility in your spine. Roll your shoulders back, squeeze them together and slide them down. Then lean back. Reach down there with your right hand and grab your left foot, the uppermost one. You just want to put your other hand on the floor out there somewhere to make sure you've got a supportive base. Pick up your foot, rotate your big toe in toward your center line, and stretch your hamstrings by extending out to the leg. If you're feeling kind of tight in the back of your leg, you can maintain that position and still get a really good stretch. But if you do want more, extend the leg entirely. Sometimes pointing your toes will help. Deep, slow breaths even now. Okay, the same one on the other side. Start out with both legs straight. Then cross your right knee over left. Press your knees a little bit closer together. As you lean over to the side, draw your other foot back also. Sort of wiggle around there, see if you can get both sitting bones flat on the mat. And if this bottom leg won't curl under like that, it's definitely okay to keep it straight again. Your feet fold back, sit up, and just pick up a lot of length in your spine. Now, you don't want to round your back like crazy, but do tuck your ribs down in the front just a little bit, and then slowly lean forward over your leg there. As you do this, you'll start to feel more opening in your outer hips. You get a nice solid opening in your back muscles too, but most likely you'll feel less opening there. In this position, gravity tends to pull your shoulders down, so roll your shoulders back and together away from the earth in front of you. Once your shoulder blades are nearer the spine, just keep leaning forward. Use your next inhale to sit all the way up. Reach down there and grab a hold of your right foot with your left hand. And place the other hand outside there for a supportive base. Once you picked up the foot, rotate it internally. Elongate your leg a little bit, or all the way if that's a possibility. Just keep stretching all the way out through your tiptoes as you hold. And try to slide your shoulders down so you're really long in your neck. And then for the moment, let go of the foot and draw your feet all the way together. Grab your ankles and pull them as close to your hips as you can. Plant your hands on the floor behind you. As you lean forward, just press your heels together and fan your knees out as well as downward to stretch your inner thigh muscles. It's good to rotate your spine also, so sit all the way up. Once you've done so, cross your left leg in front of the right. I'll cross my right leg in front, but cross your left leg. And then use some of that flexibility you developed to cross your left ankle all the way over. You can grab a hold of your knee with your right arm if you like and put your left hand on the floor behind you. But slide your hip back a little bit so the hips are not squared. Now, if you do want to take it deeper, you can always hook your elbow over the leg like this. Otherwise, the bear hug works great. And for the next few moments, just twist everything open to the left. Gaze straight back over your shoulder behind. Release that one. Cross your right leg in front of left. And cross the leg all the way over. And sort of tilt your knee up to try to get as much of your foot on the floor as possible. And at the same time, try to ground your right hip downwards. Slide your hip back a little further. Wrap your left arm all the way around your leg. Alternatively, if you can hook your arm over your leg, give it a shot. And then rotate and spin and gaze straight back again. All right, now release that stretch. Once you've done so, roll all the way over onto your right elbow and come onto your right hip. Make sure that your elbow is right under the armpit or slightly further ahead of it, whatever feels most supportive, and then draw your knees toward your chest. Grab your upper leg, the left one, or whichever one for you is on the top. Once you've grabbed the foot, try to keep your knee at about hip height, and then stretch your hip flexors by pressing your knee straight back. Tuck your ribs down in the front, roll your tail under, and just keep pressing back through your heel as you hold. And if your knee tries to raise up, see if I can drop it down just a little bit further. Release that one, press all the way up, roll over onto your other hip, your opposite elbow so that the left elbow is down, and then slide your hand down toward the foot. Sometimes the body tries to reduce the stretch by lifting up through the knee, but if you can, try to keep it down at about hip height. And tuck your ribs down so there's no back bend at all. Squeeze your butt muscles to roll your tail under, and then just keep pressing straight back on your foot. All right, release that one, and then back to the four-pointed kneeling stance. Go ahead and roll over. Stack your shoulders directly above your wrists. Your hips can either be a little ahead of the knees, right above them, or slightly behind. You just want your thighs to be relatively vertical. And we've got one more range of motion in the shoulder to work for now, so walk your hands all the way forward. Once your arms are straightish, just let your armpits sink toward the floor. And this will open your middle back too. If it feels okay to take everything closer to the floor, take it there. And if it's possible for you to put your chin or maybe your forehead on the floor, give that a shot. That's completely uncomfortable. It's totally okay to stay lifted just a little higher. Breathe deep as you hold. And now lift everything up. Slide your hands back so they're under your shoulders. And take your elbows down to the ground beneath your armpits and interlace your hands. Now, after stretching and back bends in particular, it's important to stabilize your core muscles. So for now, curl your toes under, straighten your legs for a forearm plank. For the next few moments, just press your elbows down, lock your ribs down in the front, and keep breathing as you hold. And if you need to take your knees down, that's absolutely okay. But for now, just about 15 seconds to go. And take your knees all the way back down to the floor. Walk your hands back. When you're ready, roll over to a seated position of some type. Cross your legs. Let your hands rest in your lap. And take the next few moments to focus on your breath with both eyes closed. If your mind wanders elsewhere, just notice and then redirect. And join your hands together in a prayer at your chest. And if you wish, repeat after me. May all sentient beings everywhere experience peace.